If there's a certain something sitting in your hallway, you can work as hard as you possibly can, and no matter how much money flows into your home, it may still slip away on expenses that were never worth it. Your work keeps running into one obstacle after another, standing still in the same place year after year, and you just can't figure out the reason why. Picture your home as being like the human body. If the front door is the mouth that takes in the good energy, the healthy flow of qi that brings life into the house, then the hallway is the artery of the home. Its job is to guide that energy as it moves, carrying the flow of prosperity into every single room. But when the wrong objects are placed in that spot, it's as if that artery gets blocked, and the good energy can no longer travel deep inside your home to grow and flourish. So, to help you avoid the mistakes people make when arranging their hallway, in today's video, I'm going to share with you the objects you should never place there. Now, the list of things to avoid is almost endless. That's why I've picked out a few that nearly every home has at least one of to talk about with you today. And I'd love for you to stay with me all the way to the end to see whether your home has any of the objects I'm about to share. If it does, I'll also give you the right ways to adjust things so your home can always sail smoothly with the wind at its back. All right, let's get started. Number 1, old and broken things. Our grandparents long ago saw the walkways in a home as a place for energy to flow through, not a place to store things. When clutter piles up there, it becomes an obstruction, blocking the very path that energy has to travel to reach each room. When that path is blocked, it creates what's called stagnant energy, meaning energy that can no longer circulate. It settles and pools in one spot and just sits there. And when it comes to things that are already broken, they carry something worse, a kind of declining energy, the energy of decay, of things going downhill. A chair with a broken leg, a fan that no longer spins. These are all objects that have lost the purpose they were made for. When you place items that carry that downward energy inside your home, the affairs of your household can end up blocked right along with them. You work and work, but see no progress. Whatever you set out to do hits a snag, every plan ends up half-finished, and your career just can't move forward. If your hallway is in this state, then for anything that's already broken, you should either repair it or let it go. Don't let it pile up in the hallway. For the things that still work, tuck them into a cabinet with doors and close it up tight. And if there's something you simply have to keep out there, set it flush against the wall and be sure to leave a walkway wide enough for 2 people to pass each other coming from opposite directions. Once you've tidied the hallway and cleared it out, that walkway opens up and breathes. It lets the positive energy, that good and healthy qi, spread evenly down the hallway and into every room of the house. A home that breathes freely keeps the people in it healthy, and when people are healthy, you have a clear head for your work, and that's how you hold on to the wealth in your home. Number 2, withered and wilting plants. According to Feng Shui, a pot of withered, wilting plants gives off a weakened energy, meaning a fading energy that has run out of vitality. And remember, the hallway is the path that energy must flow through to reach each room. If you tend to grow plants there and then let them wither without caring for them, your home may end up short on positive energy. That's when you sleep a full night and still wake up with a tense, foggy head in the morning, when it's hard to focus long enough to finish anything properly. The older folks in your home may also catch little illnesses more often than before. And when an opportunity finally comes along at work, you won't have the strength to grab hold of it. So the first thing to do is to throw out the plants that have withered and the flowers that have faded. Don't hold on to them. I've noticed a lot of people feel bad about all the effort they've put into caring for a plant, so they leave the dead ones sitting there forever. Once you've cleared away the dried out, withered pots, if you still want a bit of green in your hallway, then choose plants that can handle the shade, ones that can grow on their own even when you don't have time to care for them. For example, the Z plant, the money tree, the dumb cane, or the snake plant all have a strong will to live in low-light spots like a hallway. As for the pot, pick a small to medium size and set it flush against the wall so it doesn't block the walkway, which helps the energy flow smoothly. Now, if you're thinking of using an artificial plant, Feng Shui teaches that a fake plant has no living energy, so it isn't really encouraged. But from what I've looked into, this really depends on each home's situation. Some hallways are so dark that any plant you put in there will die, and a dead plant becomes a dried out plant, which is exactly the thing we're trying to avoid. So personally, I think that if your hallway lacks light and is always dim, then a clean artificial plant, dusted off regularly, is still better than staring at a dead, dried up plant in the corner every single day. But if your hallway gets enough light, then of course a real plant is best of all. When you throw out that dried up pot, the fading energy it carries fades away with it, and the good energy flows freely again into every room. You'll notice your work going a lot more smoothly. Things that used to stall and get held up may start flowing better day by day. And once the gloom and heaviness in your home is gone, you'll have the clarity to seize opportunities and make the right decisions at the right moment, so that your money finally has the chance to grow. Number 3, gloomy pictures and paintings. As I shared with you at the very beginning, the hallway is the bloodline of the home, the road that carries the positive energy, the flow that brings luck and life from the front door into every room. When you hang gloomy pictures here, you unintentionally create an obstruction right on that road. The good energy reaches that point and gets stuck, unable to move any further. Over time, this gives rise to a cold, heavy energy, a chilly kind of energy that is the complete opposite of the bright vitality a home needs. On top of that, those dark, joyless pictures work directly on the minds of the people living there. Stare long enough at images of decay and sorrow, and the people in the home grow restless, snapping at each other over the smallest things. Dinner, which should be the time the whole family sits down together, turns into a silent meal where no one talks to anyone. And once there's discord inside a home, nothing you do seems to succeed. So if your hallway has gloomy pictures like these hanging up, you should take them down. In their place, choose pictures with bright, cheerful colors that carry auspicious images, meaning images of good fortune. For instance, a painting of a sailboat gliding with the wind, a painting of peonies, or a painting of a lush green forest full of life. When you hang a picture, hang it right at eye level. Don't hang it too high. And hang just one. Don't cover the entire wall, because a hallway is already narrow, and too many pictures make the good energy clash. Along with that, remember to keep your hallway well lit, because no matter how beautiful a picture is, hanging it in a pitch-dark corner will do little to bring your family luck. Once your hallway has bright, cheerful pictures in place, husband and wife speak to each other more gently, and the children want to come home and sit with their parents. Dinner is filled with laughter again, with stories to tell. And you know, a warm, peaceful family is the strongest support a working person can have. When things are calm at home, you feel steady when you step out the door, your work can move forward, and your finances grow more comfortable too. Number 4, electronic devices and wires. I've noticed a lot of homes have the habit of putting a power strip out there and letting a few electrical cords run across the walkway in the hallway. But those very things are throwing off the road that money has to travel to get into your home. In Feng Shui, electronic devices are objects that are always running, always in motion, and always giving off noise. When you place devices that are actively running right in the middle of that road, the positive energy, the flow that carries luck and business opportunity, gets disturbed and loses its calm. Those tangled bundles of wires do the same thing. They make the path of energy messy and confused. Energy that should flow straight into the rooms now gets caught up and circles around the walkway, never making it deep inside your home. So to get your hallway flowing again, move those electronic devices into your office or your bedroom to separate all that strong activity from the main energy path of the home. But if your home is tight on space and there isn't always somewhere to move everything, and you have no choice but to keep it in the hallway, then use a wooden cabinet or a shelf with doors to screen it and place the device inside. Once the electronic item is closed away, the active energy it gives off is held back, at least in part. As for the bundles of wire, use clips or a cord-hiding box to gather all those messy cords into one straight, tidy line pressed against the base of the wall. When the wires no longer stretch across the walkway, the energy is no longer cut apart, and the positive flow enters your home more smoothly without getting blocked along the way. Once the home flows freely, the money that reaches your hands can actually stay, instead of every dollar you pick up already having something with its name on it. Those little odds and ends expenses, those random things that come out of nowhere, start to shrink away. Money is hard to earn, and holding on to it is the very foundation of building something big out of something small. Once the home flows freely, the money that reaches your hands can finally stay, and you can save it up for the plans you have down the road. The objects I've just shared with you, chances are every family has at least one of them somewhere in the home. The thing is, we simply haven't paid attention to them, and that's how the money and the work in the home end up affected. A little here and a little there, without any clear reason why. But now that you know which objects they are, take a little time to tidy up that hallway corner of yours, so the energy of prosperity has a clear path to flow into your home. And in the next videos, if there's any topic in Feng Shui you'd like me to share about, just leave a comment down below. We'll walk this road of learning about Feng Shui together, so your home grows warmer, more harmonious, and everything within it flows with ease. I wish you and your family peace, health, and abundance always. Take care, and I'll see you again in the next video.